Hi, my name is Jalen, and I've been saying I'm gonna make this video for like a year now, and now my doodle is a year and 4 months, so we're a little bit late. But I wanted to quickly go over 5 things that you need when bringing your doodle home. When I first got Callie, which is my puppy, I didn't see a ton of videos on YouTube. There's a ton now, but I didn't see a ton then about bringing a doodle home and all that good stuff. Doodles right now are like the hot commodity, like the hot brand, the hot breed of dog. So anyhow, this is gonna be a very long video. Let's get straight into it. The first thing you're gonna need, if you see me looking down, I have my list right here, is a crate for the house and a crate when you're picking up the dog from the breeder or wherever you're getting the dog from. So the crate from the house, or the crate for the house, I ended up getting one that was smaller. It had the little divider in it. It was from PetSmart. I'll link it down below. And that way I thought, you know, she was a mini, or she was labeled as a mini. So I thought she would have that one forever. Let's fast forward, we've had 3 crates now. She's about 35 pounds now though. But having a crate for the house is super important. Big deal. I decided to crate train because I work full time. And she was not gonna just be able to roam and do what she wanted. And then also a crate for pickup. So, if you're picking up the dog by yourself, you're gonna need something to put the dog in. Not just like, you know, on the seat or in a box or anything. You're gonna want like a portable crate, which is also gonna help with just transportation in general, whether it be for any car ride, whether that's small, having them in something in the car, I just felt a lot better with. So yeah, that's number 1, crate for the house and a portable crate or bag. Number 2, this is not in any specific order, by the way, a leash and a collar, obviously. I would get a leash. They go by different lengths, which I'm sure so many people know this, but if you're new to getting a dog, but make sure the size, oh, there she is. The length of the leash is, you know, compatible to like a puppy. Don't get a super long leash and giving them too much room, or at least that's not what I did. And then a collar and a tag, getting her little tag with, you know, your name, who you are, just in case something happens. She just tripped. My dog is so clumsy. The next thing is dog bowls. I know so many people have like the elevated ones, but when she was a puppy, I just got the normal dog bowls that set on the ground, and that was fine. As she got bigger, because she's not that big, then we did the elevated ones so she doesn't have to lean over so much, but dog bowls for food and water. And number 4 is food. So you want to see what kind of food the breeder or wherever you're getting her from, like I said, shelter or wherever, see what kind of food they're already on, and you can either get that food, so that way it's not a terrible transition for you, or, you know, get something else. A lot of times if you're getting them from a breeder, the breeder or shelter maybe, I'm not too sure, but they'll give you a little bag of the food that they're already on, so you can transition them to whatever food you either A, want them on, or you can continue with whatever food they're on, if that makes sense. So typically, when you get the dog, you'll get a bag of food that they're already currently on, which is nice. In my case, I did not like the food that the breeder had her on. I wanted her on something a little bit more natural, and I know you can go, everyone has their 2 cents about dog food, so we're just not even gonna go down that road. But I didn't like the food that she was on, and I wanted to transition her, so it was nice to have, you know, that food from the breeder already handy, because you don't want to transition them too fast, because then they'll get sick and then you'll have diarrhea, and doodles have very sensitive stomachs, or at least mine does. So yeah, what kind of food they're on, ask the breeder or shelter or wherever, and then decide from there if you want to keep them on that food or transition them, but make sure you transition them slowly over like a week and a half. And usually most dog foods will tell you, you know, how much to give them, or like to teach you how to transition. If you want to see how I transitioned Callie, then just let me know below. I can make a video about that. And the last thing, it was like a 5-minute video, so quick. The last thing is a playpen. Let me tell you, that playpen has saved my life. I live in an apartment in the city, I guess you can call it, and that playpen is like night and day. It was so hard in the beginning because there's carpet and there's hardwood for me to like trust her out, like while I was taking a shower or just like laying down or taking a nap on the sofa. It could be just me because I am paranoid and, you know, super OCD. But it was nice knowing that she was in her playpen. She loved it. It had the covered bottom. I'll link the one that I had below if I can find it. I think I got it from like TJ Maxx. But the bottom was covered, so if she had an accident, it wasn't the end of the world. It also helped with like exploring wise, because I read so many things about not letting them explore everything so quickly, because then they get overwhelmed and then they have accidents. But to each his own, do what you want. But the playpen for us was amazing. She didn't sleep in the playpen ever. She would always sleep in her crate, but during the day she would play in her playpen, and that would just, I made that like her toy store. So I loaded it up with toys, and she started eating her food in there, because I tried that to make it seem like, you know, it was an exciting place, like a happy place, like good things happen in the playpen. So I started feeding her in the playpen, and then she just started to love it. And as she got older, she obviously transitioned out and explored more. But in the very beginning, those first few days of having your puppy home, a playpen is essential, hands down. And like I said, the one with the covered bottom, that way you don't have to worry about them having a mess on the floor or anything like that. And then it had the covered top, so she couldn't jump out. So it was just phenomenal. And then it was obviously like ventilated. She could see out. So she could see the TV. She loves TV. She could see everything. But like I said, at night, she was in the crate. While I was at work, she's in the crate. So there's a lot of crate time, but she does love her crate. She's obsessed with it. Now that she's older, she's out a lot more. But in those beginning days, like I said, playpen and the crate were like our best friends. I think that's it. Those are like my top 5. There's other things like transitioning your puppy from like where you're getting your puppy to home. I can do a video about that, because that's a few more things. I was very anxious about, I didn't want her to have anxiety coming to a new house or, you know, being around new things. So I did a lot of research on that. So I can make a separate video on that if you guys want to see that. But top 5, crate in the house, portable crate, also something for the car to travel with, leash and collar, dog bowls, see what food the dog is currently on, and transition them to what you want them to be on, or keep them on what they're currently on. Slow transition, like I said. And then 5, playpen. Playpen. Game changer. You can even take them with you to like your friend's house or wherever you're gonna go, and that playpen is like heaven sent. Or if you have a guest over, heaven sent playpen for sure. So yeah, that's it. I will introduce Callie to you guys in the next video if you want to see her. She's a mini Goldendoodle. She looks like a little teddy bear. She's brown. She's got a little white patch on her belly. I'll insert some pictures in here when I first got her when she was a puppy. She's so cute. They literally they have human eyes, I promise. Best breed. She doesn't shed. She's amazing. If you have any questions, be free to comment down below, and subscribe and like this video if you want to see more. Thanks guys, I'll see you soon.